Hey, so about a month ago, I started having tic attacks again, Tourette syndrome tic attacks. Episodes that look like, or can look like, epilepsy, except that the person is in complete awareness, complete consciousness. They know what's going on. They may have their eyes closed, they will hear everything, they might have their eyes open, they might see everything. They're aware. They know what's going on, they realize their body's out of control. A lot of doctors don't know this. I can end up getting ambulance down to the hospital because of a tic attack, and usually because it happens in public, because people call an ambulance and I can't stay there in public laying on the floor having full body spasms looking what looks like a seizure for like an hour or two. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, it does exist. I think that a lot of doctors are ignorant about it, and they have no idea. And they think that just because they have no idea that it exists, it must not exist. Weird. She's conscious. She's aware of what's going on. Weird. Therefore, it doesn't exist. Which is, okay, I'm sounding a little mad right now, but it's because I had a very bad experience. I was ambulanced to the hospital. The doctor didn't understand. The first times I was sedated, and I think that later he probably thought I was drug seeking or attention seeking or both, and faking basically. And he yelled at me, absolutely, like not just like raise his tone a little, he yelled and he said stop it, and he yelled stop it several times, and I couldn't stop. I couldn't. A lot of tics are things that are semi-voluntary and things that we feel like we have to do, therefore we do. An itch that we can't scratch, or that we have to scratch. But when it's a tic attack, it's completely out of control. Like the body just freaking flips out, and it does it, or can look like an epileptic seizure, which is what it can be confused with. The doctor actually even tried to get people to force me into a sitting position. He was saying stop it and trying to make me sit. He said sit up, sit up. I wasn't able to sit. I couldn't sit. I was laying in the cot and having full body tics, and so they forced me into a sitting position. Three of them together forced me into a sitting position. And later on, I don't know, like, he comes back and he's acting like it's not faking. And I think he talked to a neurologist or something on the phone, and maybe he was educated a little bit that it's something that can happen. My neurologist knows very well that I have this, and he knows that it's true. He doesn't say, no, that's not right, or whatever. I was diagnosed as this being tics by a neurologist. So maybe this doctor who didn't know any better, and shouldn't have really assumed that either. You shouldn't assume it about anyone that they're faking. If you catch them in a lie, or you know for a fact that they're faking, I don't know how you would know unless they tell you, then that's one thing. But to assume someone is faking and treat them like they're faking when they're going through an ordeal like that is absolutely devastating. And I have to say, I was devastated. I did not take it well, and it mulled over in my head for the longest time. I have to be a horrible person to be seen as someone like that. I must obviously have something that's about me that makes it so that people assume that I'm capable of faking something like that. To lose control of your body that way, I can't handle it. And to have someone at the same time as that's going on treat me like I'm some piece of garbage that is wasting their time, maybe trying to get some medication out of them, it hurt. And it sent me in this downward spiral. I just want to stress so much to doctors. You may not know everything. Obviously, you can't know everything. Please don't assume that someone is faking, because you have no idea how detrimental it is. This exists. If you want to know more about tic attacks or tic status, you can look up an article called Tic Status, a Movement Disorder Emergency, and it has what they list as the criteria for a tick status. So if you want to be more informed, if you want to know more about it in case a patient gets wheeled in the same way that I did, then check that out. If you're not a medical professional and you want to learn about it, check that out. Learn about it because it exists, and it exists in more people than you think. Tourette happens in about 1% of the population, and they estimate about almost 9% have what is called tic attacks or tic status. So it is not that uncommon. It's almost as common as coprolalia, the swearing aspect of Tourette syndrome. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to rant a lot. I wanted to talk about this. I wanted people to really stop and think. Think before you say something stupid like stop it to someone who's having tics. Even if it's not a tic attacks and just regular tics and you know they have Tourette syndrome and you say stop it for some reason, why would you even say stop when you know they can't stop? It feels bad. It feels really awful to be told to stop when you can't help it. So that's my rant, and I really hope it was not too much yelling. I'm very upset. I'm not usually. I'm calmer about it now, and I'm in a better place. And my tics have actually been very, now that I'm talking about it, very good lately. And I haven't had a tic attack in about 3 weeks, so I'm super happy about it. I'm gonna stop there. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys again.